thought that college would be the best thing ever, and when you saw movies like Neighbors or any movie that referenced any college life, you thought it would be super fun. Raise your hand, guys. Yeah. Okay, how many have you noticed that it's not that way? Pretty much everyone. Sadly, everyone thinks that college is going to be this amazing experience, and they don't realize the things that are going to come with it that aren't necessarily good. So when you go off to college, everyone thinks, wow, I can make my own rules, do whatever I want. Pretty much, I have the freedom without having to listen to my parents and everything. So the problem is no one thinks of the things that come with college that can hurt a student's mental and physical health. And those main three things are eating disorders / bad eating, depression, and alcohol abuse. Eating disorders are a huge thing, and most people have no idea when someone has it just because people don't really talk about it and they kind of just keep it to themselves. And the sad thing is 40% of female college students have eating problems, and most people don't even know. And another thing is when you go to college campuses, there's fast food chain restaurants everywhere. And most colleges have this for the convenience of the students, which is nice, and it's also good for like their bank accounts, but it's also another way for colleges to make money off of students, also hurting the college students' health because it's like fast food, and we all know that fast food is not good for people's systems. And also when I was looking over your guys' survey things, on average about most of you exercise about 3 times a week, which is pretty good because I myself only exercise like 0, so that's also good for you guys. But that's another thing is they have those restaurants on college campuses for the convenience of students just so they can grab a quick snack. But if you're not exercising like me, that's really bad for me. But okay, so 40% of female college students have eating problems, and only 7% of males have eating problems. And the sad thing is 1/3 of Americans are obese, and the reason is because there's fast food chain restaurants everywhere, and even not just on our campus, but like even around it. Like if you go to like 922, there's McDonald's and Taco Bell. So we're literally surrounded by fast food, and there aren't very many healthy food options. So that's another thing. And another huge thing is depression. We all come into college thinking it's going to be so much fun because we don't have rules, but that's actually not the case. According to Healthline.com, 1 out of every 4 students suffers from some type of mental illness, and they never seek any medical help or attention. 44% of college students have reported that they have some symptoms of depression, and 75% of that 44% have never sought any medical help, and that's kind of a scary thing. Just thinking about how it's 1 out of every 4 students has some type of mental illness, and ASU has like 80,000 plus students. That's like 20,000 of our students that have a mental illness, and we have no idea like who it is. Just walking to class, we might pass someone that's depressed, and we would have no idea, and it's really sad. And according to also Healthline.com, there's more than 1,000 reported suicides a year from college students, and most of these are from students that never sought to seek help because they were embarrassed by the fact that they were depressed. But in reality, if they would have went to go get help, they probably would still be here. Another huge thing is alcohol. Just how when I was looking at the survey, pretty much everyone in here has consumed alcohol under the age of 21, and we have college to mainly thank for that, just because peer pressure and everything. So 80% of college students drink alcohol, and 50% of those 80% binge drink on the weekends. And binge drinking is super bad, and for those that don't know, our brains aren't fully developed until we're 25. And so when you binge drink, it really affects your brain and causes you to kill brain cells and things like that. And that can also cause a long-term effect on your brain if you do that all the time. And so it's just very careful, or just be very mindful of that, because binge drinking, people might think it's fun and just something to do, but it's actually really bad for you and can cause long-term effects, so you don't want that. And that goes the same with all the other ones, like bad eating, depression, and alcohol abuse. You all need to be mindful of those things because they're all like bad habits, and we need to make sure you don't get into the habit of doing all those. But at the end of the day, everyone comes to college for the same reason, to have fun and to have the freedom to do whatever they want away from their parents. But but you also need to be mindful of the things that, like the bad parts of college, like bad eating, depression, like alcohol abuse, and just be like cautious of those things and make sure you don't get into bad habits with those.